Guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Hotell, issue number 3, volume 2, our Opshops comics. That's a word. Yeah, we're going to continue the series. I love this cover. It's just instant recognizable. Very cool. Love the colors here as well. So, yeah, skipping this because, that's the owner of the hotel. There's something going on with him. I believe, but I could be wrong. He is some kind of a caretaker / keeper of whatever is hitting here or what happens here. He doesn't get involved. He just, takes care of what's happening, with the hotel. So in the last issue, we found, we told the story of Lucy. I believe that's her name. Lucy. And we remember the biker gang. So yeah, these are vicious killers and they are, gonna look for Lucy and make her pay for, disappearing and etc. because they think she's a traitor. Meanwhile, the hotel has a new guest, and the guest is an artist, as he calls himself. And his name is Shane Horowitz. And so the owner says, hey, maybe it's not a good idea that you're going to draw that. And he says, well, I'm sorry. I'm just so fascinated by this artwork. It exudes a powerful energy that inspires me. I haven't felt inspired in some time. Where did you acquire this piece? It came with the place. What about you? Look like you have a gift for drawing. So Shane says, yeah, I suppose you could say I've always been fortunate in my ability to perfectly capture the essence of a thing with pen and paper. Whatever I'm observing, I can perfectly recreate anything down to the finest detail. And he shows, exactly the picture of Pierrot here. But then, somehow it changed. And Shane is shocked and says, no, this isn't right. This is not how the painting looked. I drew exactly how it was in my sketchbooks, and now it's different. How can it be different? So the owner says, I can't say old Pierrot moving around in here, but that's why I said it wasn't a good idea. There's something about this painting. It can mess with the perception of those who look at it too long. So Shane says, hey, I need to get out of here. There's something not right. It makes me feel unwell. So he goes outside, right? And then he is, going into the woods, just like, a lot of people before that. And you look at this tree here. So he draws the tree, but he draws the tree wrong. And he says, what's that clown done to my head? I don't draw like this. I don't draw like this. So he picks it up and he draws everything else. And it's all disturbing and weird looking. It's just totally different. But then he accepts it and he thinks that he is now, let's say, he says, I didn't know I had anything like this in me. And then she is the voice of a woman. And this woman was in volume 1. Now, I know a little bit of volume 1. Let's say she is, I don't know how to explain it without spoiling anything, but she had a fiancé or a husband. The husband, if I'm doing it correctly, wants to kill her for reasons. And she came back to life, and she took revenge on her husband. And so she says, "I hope I don't mind interrupt you if I take a dip." Not at all. Greetings, Muriel. I'm Shane Horowitz. I make art. Have you been at Pierrot Courts long? Quite a while. At this stage, to say I'm less a guest than a tenant. I first checked in with Bobby, my husband, but you could say he moved on. I chose to stay behind. You ever get the feeling of wanting just to leave behind the outside world to get the grips with who you really are? Yeah, basically she is more than that. And Shane agrees and he says, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And he says that he is, while he's being here, tapping into a whole new energy. And he says it's like I'm not capturing the world, I'm transforming it, peeling back the surface and revealing something raw and dangerous. is the best work I've ever done. And Muriel says, hey, would you like to draw me? And so, yeah, he's doing that while she's talking, etc. And she wants to see what he's drawn. And then she looks at this and she says, yeah, like I said, it's new energy. And this is what you see under the surface when you look at me? Muriel, there's no reason to be offended. Art can be, that's not me. This is me, right here. And she just walks away in anger. And so he goes back to the tree that looks, totally different. And he says, not just capturing, transforming. And then, I don't know, he just runs back because there's some kind of a buzzing sound that makes him panic. And then he is here and he hears a scream and then also a weird sound. So he goes to the place where, the door further where Muriel lives. And she is now completely transformed into that, what he drew. And she says, look at me, look at what you've done. And then and Shane says, it's that clown that did it. Ever since I drew it into my sketchbook, nothing has come out right. You have to believe me. I never thought this would happen. Okay, fine. I believe you didn't completely fuck me on purpose, just by accident. Okay, she's snarky. I love it. And so he says, you know what? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to change you and make you even more beautiful. And Muriel says, are you nuts? You've done enough damage with your stupid doodles. Don't you dare put that pen on paper. You're sick. You know that? Depraved. And she says, just get lost, Shane. I'll figure it out how to fix it myself. All right. So Shane's just being, angry about what she said. Doodles? Doodles. I'm crafting the most significant, powerful artwork this world has ever seen. I offer to save her, to elevate into something greater. And she throws it back in my face. That's fine. Oh, that's fine. Drawn from my memory, I don't need to see her to capture her anymore. I am beyond that. Why would I need reference? Everything in the world is just clay to be molded by me. It all looks however I decide it looks. And then he says, this is my masterpiece. And then he throws the book away because of, the shock of what he's drawing. So he picks it up. And then, Muriel is not herself anymore. She's a giant, grotesque tree. And she's going outside and, knocks on the door of Lucy. Remember Lucy from, the last issue? She cannot escape either. And Muriel says, kill me. And Lucy just freaks out, of course, and, shoots her and says, get away from me. And then, she's transforming back. And Lucy goes aside, oh, nothing here. And so Muriel goes to Shane again. He says, yeah, Muriel, I'm what, Shane? Looking more perky than you were expecting? As it turns out, all I needed to do was die. That happens to me a few times lately. The gift I gave you is far from only an explainable thing in Pierrot Courts. So Shane, he is delusional. He has godlike powers. He says, the hotel gave me nothing. I merely unlocked the genius I had with me all along. No longer will I be ignored with the power in my hands. My visionary greatness will be acknowledged. I'll show them all that my art can change the world. And then Muriel picks up the book and she's doodling. And she said, I'm painting you a picture. You think taking my sketchbooks away will make a difference? I draw on a notepad. I draw on the floor. The power in my hands will be not to be stopped. And Muriel says, anyone can draw, Shane. There's nothing special about you. It's just the sketchbooks that has the power, not you. And so she reveals what she has drawn. She says, how about I draw a picture of something great and terrible lurking under the hotel, emerging to devour you. Here, you can see it dragging you deep down below, and there you stay, being digested ever slowly, in agony, but alive, always somehow unnaturally alive, long after the outside world has forgotten you ever existed. So Shane says, ha, that's not how it works, you imbecile. I draw from life. I don't just make up stories. What you have here is a comic book. That's not art. I make art. I love this over-the-top crazy dialogue, and then something happens and he says, oh shit, but we don't see what's happening because we have a new tenant. And the owner says, hey, we just, room number 4 has recently became available. So, so this guy is, becoming the new tenant with his dog. And then here are some sounds outside. And none other than this motorcycle killing gang is here. And so the owner says, I'm sorry, folks, no vacancies. And then this biker says, I'm sorry to hear that, my friends. My companions and I have been on the road for a while now, looking for someone, and we all just flat ready to drop. Room or not, I'm sure you don't mind us cooling our heels here in a little while, do you? You barely notice we're here. And that leads us to the next issue. And talking about the dog, And we see a preview of what's coming. Yeah, I like it. I like this. I like this a lot. I more so I don't like anthologies, and this is not really an anthology. Anthology is more like multiple stories in one book, but it feels like an anthology, but then per comic, if you know what I mean. It feels like Twilight Zone and X-Files rolled into one, telling different stories, but in this case connected with each other, because Muriel from Volume 1 is still here. And, we see Lucy again, from issue number 2. And, it's just, and I believe we're going to see Shane in a later date as well, I think. And, I think this is great. The writing is sharp. It's funny. Funny as in dark. 2 thumbs up. I really liked it. More than I thought it would be. So that's a good thing. Guys, let me know what you think about this. Thanks for watching as always. Subscribe to my channel, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.